Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. This video is going to be a little bit different to those that I usually post. It's actually straight on the charts, straight on the concept basis. Alright, so basically what we are going to be talking about in this video, I'm going to teach you how to trade the safety trade. A lot of people think they can trade this particular trading setup, but it's actually a setup that requires you to be highly particular with whatever that you are doing. So basically, what is a safety trade? It's actually a trade that comes after confirmation of the market bias. How do we confirm market bias? So firstly, this is how I set up my charts whenever I want to trade this particular setup. So we have the TDI, we have the EMAs that are right above the charts like this, and these EMAs are basically to help me segment how the markets move as well as show me the bias of the market. And this is the Traders Dynamic Index, which is basically to show me or confirm the setup when it happens. So basically what we need to do first is to basically find what we call a reset. What is a reset? Basically, a reset is actually a structure that comes after 3 levels of rise or drop. It is basically a continuation pattern that is issued after the market has completed a cycle and intends to keep on moving in that particular direction. So what do we mean by that? We can see that in this case, we had level 1 to the upside, which is this move or a day of rise. Whenever we get 3 days of rise, we expect to see the market to reverse. And whenever the market reverses, if the market intends to keep on moving in that particular direction, it issues what we call a reset. So in this particular case, we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. 3 moves to the upside like this, and then we actually get a completed cycle. After 3 moves, we've said we expect to see a market to give us what we call a reset if it intends to do so. How do we know that the market intends to do so? We get what we call a reset and the first shift away from that reset. Basically, 1 day of rise after a reset has been issued. We can see the market gave us 1, 2, and 3. And after these 3 moves to the upside, we had the market come back to the 200 EMA in white. And then from that 200 EMA, we had this particular move to the upside, which is basically the first day of rise after a reset was issued. After that reset has been issued, the next thing is to confirm if it is a reset. And a reset is usually confirmed by the H4 time frame. The H4 time frame will basically be the first touch of the 50 EMA after 3 levels have been issued. So we can see that on the H4 we had 13 in red and 50 in blue. After these crossed over, we had the first touch of the 50 in blue, and that was actually our confirmation that this is a reset point. So from that reset point, the next thing is to see the first day of rise, as I've mentioned earlier before. And after that, we now switch to the M15 time frame to find the safety trade. The safety trade is basically an MOW that comes after a reset has been confirmed. We can see that from that particular reset, we had a 50, 200 EMA cross. And after these had crossed over, the next thing was now to see the Asian session. And usually the Asian session was going to be in this particular view. This was going to be our Asian session range. And the Asian session range was going to be like this. And we get, or we'll start to look for a W pattern outside of the Asian session range. Like in this particular case, we can see going outside of the Asian session range, which had these range bounds. This was the lower bound and this was the upper bound. And since we have an upward bias, we wanted to see a W pattern. And we had first leg with a 13.5 EMA cross, and then second leg with a 13.5 EMA cross like this. And to confirm it using the TDI, we can see that the first leg was actually here, and then the second leg was actually above the first leg, meaning that there was a beautiful divergence that was issued. We can see this particular divergence that was issued with the TDI to confirm this particular pattern, and the market started to go our way right up to where we are right now. So basically, this is how you trade the safety trade, and I've decided to make this video short so that it will be easy for you to understand. On that note, we've come to the end of our today's video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and please join our free Telegram channel. I'll leave the link in the description box below.